All right, let's go ahead and transition to episode 3 because I'm more excited to talk about episode 3 than episode
Facts.
2.
But we got to remember what happened in episode 2. At the end of episode 2, who got who?
Okay, that's how we gonna start off episode 3 with
our girl Karen took down a anti-vigilante task force member.
Yes.
Which starts off in episode 3.
Which we start off in episode 3. We got an vigilante task force officer. He's sitting in it looks like some type of private room, and Daredevil and Karen begin to interrogate him, and he confesses that he does not like to work for Wilson Fisk, and he wants to change sides, and he provides Daredevil with a key card that allows him to get into the most secure rooms at the Red Hook port
every 12 hours. But we also got to talk about where they interrogated this man at all. They interrogated him in the Punisher's basement, if you recall. Yeah. Okay. So we definitely get into some Punisher in this episode, and definitely we gotta definitely talk about that later in the podcast. But definitely,
we gonna get to it.
We gonna get to that. Yeah. So
we gonna get
so
to
most
that.
Definitely, and of course it's gotta be a Latino who's wants to switch sides from the anti-vigilante task force, which I ain't mad about, but definitely was over there like, yo, take my key card. My man Daredevil scaring the shit out of him. I'm sorry. If I saw that suit right in front of me, I definitely would be like, yeah, just take whatever you need, bro. Like, you want me to give you my social security? I'll give it to you, bro. I'm sorry. My bad. I fucked up. I chose the wrong side. Definitely gotta admit that. Like, I'm sorry. I gotta admit to this again. Like, bro, that suit is tough, bro. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell I'm not looking at that motherfucker and not scared as shit. I definitely would be like glazing this motherfucker. My bad, bro. I'll even give you my password to my phone, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? You want my social security? I'll give it to you. You want my birthday? I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? What do you want to know? I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you my
want my girl? Here you go.
Yeah. I even get. No bullshit, bro. I definitely was looking at this motherfucker, dog. I was scared. He's like, you're lying. I'm not lying. Like, I would be like, yeah, I'm not lying, bro. I'm sorry. Please, just let me go, please. I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Definitely feel like, what's his name? The dude from Next Friday. I want to return this shit. I can't get jiggy with this shit.
Michael Blackston.
I'm a bitch. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Definitely, that's what I felt. Like, definitely, he was like, I'm a bitch. Like, please forgive me. I can't get jiggy with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely.
So we get the next scene with Kirsten is being taken to Red Hook blindfolded for her first consultation for the swordsman as she begins to prep for the vigilante trials.
This is crazy because we get to see how powerful the politics is with Wilson Fisk going forward. It seems like everybody's scared of Wilson Fisk. We even got Dr. Glenn forging documents on her patient with the swordsman, and Kristen McDuffie protecting the swordsman on the trial. And also, we also have Wilson Fisk promoting a so-called promotional fight to raise, I believe, what is it, like a fundraiser, I believe it is?
Yes.
And Vanessa is running scared because she knows that Bullseye is on her tail and is searching for her and willing to do any means necessary to assassinate. And then we also get Cashman double checking on Daniel on a leak. And this is what we got to talk about too as well. Maybe we could talk about it a little bit later, but I don't want to change the subject, but also there's a lot of stuff going on moving forward. We also got the governor double checking Fisk in his position as well with the aid of the government, and definitely feel like this is going to play a significant role going forward in the season. And it seems whatever's going on, that Fisk knows exactly what he's doing, and the governor knows exactly as well what he's trying to protect in the series.
All right. The governor. So, do you think, because they made it known that the governor is squeaky clean. She has like no dirt. Like she has
Allegedly.
nothing. Allegedly has
Allegedly.
nothing.
Which I highly
So
doubt that, but like we'll see how it goes moving forward in the season.
we'll dig a little bit deeper because when she had this meeting with Fisk, she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Look, we turned a blind eye when you decided you wanted to lock the city down. You wanted to do all these different things, and now that we have this situation with the North Star sinking in New York, that's where we're going to draw the line." So low key, I'm pretty sure she knows exactly what's going on, and she just, in my opinion, she doesn't know how she's going to handle it moving forward because Fisk, he's continued to get more and more power, and he's like his friends. He got friends in the freaking CIA now. Like, so
Facts.
she can only do so much at this point, and I feel like if she makes the wrong move, then she could end up being on the hit list.
Facts. Um, I definitely agree with you. With the governor moving forward, she has the state on her side, but that doesn't mean that she has the federal government on her side. As we know, Mr. Charlie is working with Valentina, which is the federal government, which is the CIA, who's also aiding Wilson Fisk, but also doesn't mean that these people are clean. So we already know that Valentina isn't clean. She's willing to play dirty moving forward. So it's crazy going forward. It seems like Fisk is either, how do I say this? Is either playing deep with the Sharks, or he owes a lot of people a lot of favors. And I do feel, this is my personal opinion. I can't make this factual because I don't have anything to back this up. But I do feel like Fisk is owing a lot of people a lot of favors that he won't be able to pay back moving forward in the MCU. And the only reason I'm saying this is because it seems like he has no control of what exactly is going on in exactly in New York. So it seems like, I feel like Fisk is over his head, and eventually everything is going to crumble down on itself, and Fisk is going to be by himself, and I feel like the government's going to end up having to like wash their hands or clean their hands of Fisk. So which means Fisk is either going to go back to being a criminal, or people are going to just end up voting him out of the government, and which means that eventually the vigilantes are going to win. As we know, moving forward, certain individuals are going to escape and have a significant role going forward throughout the series and the MCU as well.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut to this one scene that is extremely important, in my honest opinion, where it's Karen and Matt. They're discussing what happened to Frank Castle. Real quick, I want to address the audience real fast because we got what I'm gonna say 15, maybe 20 comments after we did quite a few different videos as far as our thoughts on Frank Castle as far as moving forward with the MCU. Daredevil Born Again, is he going to be in the series ever again? And then we get the trailer of the Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then of course we get the announcement of the Punisher special presentation. So we really don't know what his role is, but this is what we do know. And everybody wants to state the obvious in the comment section, which we haven't really responded to it because we kind of feel like it's a little bit, well, excuse me, not a little bit. It's kind of obvious. Like, we know that at the end of season 1 that Frank Castle, he technically broke out. We get that part. Like every Matt Murdock blind ass can see that. We all can see that. But
even a blind man can see that.
Right, we can see that. What we're trying to put out there is that we don't exactly physically get a background of, all right, what happens after you broke homeboy's arm. You mean to tell me that we cut to seeing this actual this room of people kept prisoner, and you're telling me Frank Castle left all those fucking people?
Facts. I definitely got to question that. I mean, in the episode at the end of episode 3, there's no way in hell that Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, just escaped, broke a guard's arm, stole the key, and just washed his hand clean of all the dirt and all the prisoners, and just walked away and not saved a living soul that were locked up. So one of two things is happening, in my personal opinion. Either Frank Castle escaped later on in the series, in season 2 of Daredevil, or he escaped in the beginning of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, but there wasn't that many prisoners, or that he was the only prisoner that was locked up at the time. Now, I can't prove this, but if Frank Castle escaped and there was prisoners locked up, what we saw in episode 3, there is no way in hell he didn't save anybody. There's no way in hell. There's no way. So my thoughts in the matter is that either he escaped because he was the only prisoner, or somewhere down the line,
there was a few people in there. I remember seeing swordsmen in there.
Somewhere down the line, he escaped during the time that Daredevil was freeing the rest of the civilians, and we just didn't see it. But there has to be something more important for him to have not been in that scene.
Vincent D'Onofrio made it known. He made it known that they wanted him in the season 2, but he did the Spider-Man movie, which I can respect and I understand. But as far as for plot hole purposes,
a logical standpoint,
yes, a logical standpoint, we needed to get that type of closure as far as the character. Like, let's just be done with it and just move on. Like, the way they did it was kind of, how cheesy. You say it, lazy writing. Like,
lazy writing, yeah. Okay, it was lazy writing, and it was cheesy, and it wasn't satisfying. Like, definitely, like, okay, they're gonna have to explain a lot with this, but okay, I could see how episode 3 ended, and most definitely, like, if Punisher was a part of it, I could see him escaping. But overall, like, we get to see in episode 3 that Daredevil and Karen also explain that they believe that Daredevil wasn't dead. Now, do we know that was he still locked up in season 1? Yes, of course. We never said that he wasn't locked up. It's not like we were saying that we didn't know what happened to the Punisher. Of course he got locked up by the task force. And then he found a way to get out. He broke someone's arm, stole the key, and left. Now, the timeline is janky.
That's left up to interpretation. Let's not forget to mention that.
Oh, yeah, it's left to interpretation. Because it's a little bit janky because we don't know where exactly in the timeline he left. Now, it could be before or after Spider-Man Brand New Day. I do believe it's before. There's no evidence proving that until we get to finish season 2. Now, to go back to what we stated earlier before. Of course, we know that Punisher escapes. Of course, because he's going to have his own TV series and he's in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Of course, we're not knocking that. But we need answers. Like, I don't know how else to explain it without simplifying it. I just don't want to see that he escaped and didn't save nobody. That's bullshit. That's horseshit. I call cap on that shit all day, every day, bro. That's cap. But at also the same time, bro, this is the same man who was talking about killing the Kingpin if he were to ever meet him again. And he was right there. So you're telling me that he escaped and didn't want to kill Kingpin? I call cap. I call cap. There's no way in hell. Now,
So
if we get a storyline that justifies him not having to worry about Fisk, I'm okay with it. Until then, I'm gonna call horseshit. I'm gonna call cap. Bullshit. I don't care. It's called lazy writing. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. That's all I want to say. Like, that's my opinion. Shut the fuck up.
yeah, we definitely been sitting on that for quite some time because, again, we read the comments all the time. Now, if we don't respond back to the comments, don't worry, something is coming for you. So
It's not like we're asking a question because we don't know the answer to it. Of course, there are certain changes in you know, what do you say it?
a,
The
a rough
storyline
transition. It transitioned
transitions
very,
and
very
the
bad.
changes and all that, and of course we know that shit. But we're just saying as fans, we need more answers. We need better explanation. Like, don't just leave us in the blank and be like, oh yeah, forget about the character. Like, just like saying the end credit scenes that don't matter. We don't get an answer to that. We're not complaining. We're just saying, bro, like, this is the Punisher we're talking
it's
about.
a puzzle with a missing piece that we cannot
Facts.
put in the puzzle yet.
Facts. And we're just
There we go.
asking we're just reporting back what most people want to say, but don't have the fucking balls to say it. You know what I'm saying? like put one and one together. That's all I'm saying. Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to rip us an asshole, bro. Like, come on. We're just asking what most people don't have the balls to say.
Right. So I think we got that off our chest pretty well. But let's go ahead and move on to the vigilante trials, which it begins with the swordsman. And I gotta say, when you talk about a hack job, like, they literally screwed swordsman over.
Facts.
Like, and Heather's influence on this too is freaking crazy because she, like, in episode 1, she changed her answer as far as him being psychotic, and I feel like that was the whole breakthrough in the whole trial.
I agree with you. There's so much going on with Heather that I don't know where to begin and end with this story, but I'm gonna save it a little bit later for the podcast. But she definitely changed her answers because she definitely believes that Fisk is the answer to her problems. Now, Christy is against Kingpin, and we know this from the beginning. That's why she's protecting Swordsman. Kirsten, sorry. And then to see the Swordsman get mistrialed in this court case is crazy. And to be honest with you, I definitely felt like there was a lot of politics involved in this shit. Like, I did feel like the judges were paid. Not all of them, some of them, or majority of them were paid. I can't say who, but overall, this was planned out. The way that Fisk laughed at the end of the trial, it had me like, yeah, you already had this shit. You had this shit in the ace, bro. You know what you were doing. But overall, it's crazy to see how people are aligned to certain individuals, and I do think this is going to play a significant role going forward. Now, how it impacts everybody, I do feel like I have strong feelings. And what I mean by that is that I do feel like Glenn or Heather, and this is my theory on the matter, I do feel like she is going to play a significant role going forward in the series. Now, how we go about it, my theory is that Muse is going to come back. Now, how I know this, I cannot justify it. I have no answers to it. There's no... I'm trying to connect the dots, but also trying to give my theories on the matter. Now, do I think Muse is going to come back as the original actor? No. But I do feel like Muse is coming back. And I do feel like it is going to play a significant role going forward. Now, who I think is going to play Muse, I don't know. But I'm going to leave my theories to myself. But I do feel like Muse is going to come back in some way because we do get to see Heather have the mask in her drawer. Now, why she has it is because of PTSD. She's still traumatized from being kidnapped and almost being murdered by Muse. Now, why she still keeps it is beyond me. I do think it is going to play a greater role moving forward, like I stated. But I do believe Muse is coming back. That's just my opinion on the matter.
All right, so after Kirsten loses the trial for Swordsman, she meets with Daredevil to give information about the Red Hook port, as far as Daredevil being able to sneak in to the Red Hook port and Daredevil trying to get evidence against Fisk at the Red Hook port to expose him as being involved in criminal activity. So he's left off with a choice whether to save the prisoners in Red Hook or get the evidence, and he decided he wanted to save the prisoners, which goes back to the thing about Frank Castle. I know we beat this like no other, but there's no freaking way that Daredevil saves him, but Punisher doesn't save him. So hopefully that gives people better perspective as far as what we were trying to tell you within the first episode review, and also what we were trying to tell you in the Spider-Man Brand New Day video, actually, because we brought that up and some people said some things about that too. But anyway, Daredevil, we get the surprise of Angela. She puts on the White Tiger costume to assist Daredevil in the rescue of the prisoners. And going back to talking about some fight scenes, man, like those fight scenes in Red Hook for Daredevil, and Swordsman was involved too as well. Yeah, Swordsman had a couple little nice moments, but it didn't. I really wanted to cut back to Daredevil. Daredevil just freaking murking folks.
The camera angles, bro. We got to talk about this, bro, because episode 2 I thought was great, but episode 3 with the action, top notch. This is where I go back to the beginning of the pod. This is Daredevil at his peak. This is Daredevil. For those of y'all who weren't fanatics of season 1 of Born Again, I get it. It's a little bit janky. It was all over the place. But you can't knock the action scene. But
Which one in particular in season 1? Because if I'm being honest,
episode 1
was a little bit janky. I was a little concerned after watching that first fight.
I'm not talking about the series. I'm talking about the action scenes.
The one against Bullseye, the episode 1.
Yeah, that was tough, bro. That was
very suspect. That was very, very suspect.
It was janky, but don't get me wrong, the action scene was tough though, bro. Like
just to make sure we're on the same page. You're talking about Daredevil Born Again season 1, episode 1,
correct? 1, yeah, where he was dogging Bullseye.
I had serious concerns about that fight.
No, okay, let's break it down real quick.
I feel like the Muse fight was a little bit better.
No, the Muse fight, no, bro. What we talk about, like Bullseye with Daredevil, bro? This is the same dude who was murking dudes that were innocent bystanders, and this dude was over there beating him down level by level from the first floor to the third floor, and it threw his ass off the building, bro. You can't beat that, bro. That's season 3 right there of Netflix Daredevil.
I ain't like the angles, but I
give you that. Okay, but it's still, but you can't knock the choreography on that shit. That shit was tough. To go back to what I'm saying, episode 3, when he was releasing the prisoners, him and the swordsman. Joe, I don't know where to start with this shit. When he broke the vents and he used the fog as leverage to take down the anti-vigilante task force, and was dog. Okay, remember what we stated in episode 1. He let them unmask him. He got distracted. He got weak. But it seems like he learned his lesson in this episode, because he definitely came out there with some anger. It was like, oh, hell to the no. I'm about to beat your bitch asses to the fucking floor. Bro, what I'm talking about, dude, these dudes are either mentally retarded or they're fucking bears of allegiance. These people did not get no fucking leverage. They were destroyed. Pause when I'm saying this. Bro, they were beat to a pulp. These task force members were destroyed. Now, do I think some of them were killed? I think a majority of them were killed. And I think Swordsman killed a couple of them too. Because to see these two fighting side by side with each other, and even though it was like a one shot and done in most of these fight scenes, because it was mostly shot in Daredevil's point of view, Swordsman got a couple kill in there, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Swordsman got in there and was like, oh, bet. Say less. I got you. Boom, boom, boom. These henchmen were falling down to the ground, bro. These motherfuckers didn't even see anything coming. And that's crazy. And that's when I go, this is peak Daredevil, bro. Daredevil. And I love how Daredevil does this shit where he just be dogging dudes. And every time he gets to the last two and he dog them, he's over there with the deep breath, pause. And everybody's looking at him like, bro, who are you? And he looking at him like, that's what I thought. Get the fuck out of my way. And he's like, move. And then the motherfuckers are moving. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. When I talking about Daredevil, this is my GOAT. When he over there breathing hard, and pause when I say this, because don't take it out of context. That's my GOAT. When that motherfucker over there like, get the fuck out. And motherfuckers are moving, that's my GOAT. That's my GOAT, bro. The action scenes were tough. The only thing I gotta state, because we gotta talk about it, because we mentioned about it earlier, I really, really wish the other one was there, bro. Frank Castle. Punisher? I really wish. I came out there like, definitely like, where's Frank? He's gotta be there, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I when I saw the angles of the cells, the prison cells, and I'm like, that's where Frank was locked up. Frank's gotta be there, bro. Frank's got to be there. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I did not think that the Swordsman was gonna have any action scenes in this fight. I definitely thought that Punisher was gonna come out there and be like, what's up, Red? And start dogging dudes. Like annihilate these dudes. And I'm sorry, I gotta glaze Frank Castle. I definitely feel like, in my opinion, this series let me down when I didn't see Frank Castle come out the cut. And I'm sorry. I got to be real with you. I gotta be real with you. Because I sat there and I had a positive like, yo, if Frank comes out the cut and starts killing these dudes, I was gonna cry. I was gonna pop a tear. But I was disappointed. But overall, I love the action. I love the episode. It was amazing. It was cool. We get to see the White Tigress put on the mantle. Somewhat. Karen Page did her thing. Shot a couple task force members.
She killed.
You think so? I don't think she killed a dude.
Well, Daredevil froze again when she made that shot, so I think she killed the guy.
But also did too.
Hold on. Before you even continue, I feel like that is something that we definitely need to keep an eye on moving forward, because when they had the conversation about Frank and she said his methods right now are effective, I feel like she's starting to make the transition into
it's okay to kill.
That dark side.
If it's justified, if the means meets the ends.
Yeah. So.
And that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on moving forward, because when Daredevil, he made that, like he froze up a little bit when she made that shot. I'm like, oh, bad.
You hit the nail on the head, bro. That's something we got to pay attention to, because Karen seems to be going to the other side. I'm not going to lie to you. Is it right? No. But is she wrong? I'm not gonna. I'm kind of justifying the ends to the means to the ends, and I'm like, Punisher might be right on the matter, bro. Because I mean, let's
And that
be
makes it
honest,
even worse
Daredevil
because
ain't
he's not
really.
even here.
Daredevil isn't really doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, when I mean this is like, Daredevil, you're not really doing anything to protect your citizens. They're dying. The same people you're locking up are killing more people than you're saving. So I ain't justified. I'm not here to say that Daredevil's wrong. I'm not saying Daredevil is right, but I'm just saying I feel like Karen might be onto something, and she might be influenced by Frank, and
He ain't here.
he ain't here. But I do feel like this is paying homage to a lot of stuff going forward, and I feel like this is gonna put a wedge between Karen and Matt, and I definitely want to see which is gonna go moving forward. But
They're
definitely
gonna
where I
break
wanted
up.
to, where I was
They'll
saying
break it
before
up,
I
bro.
ended, huh?
They're breaking up. They're breaking up, bro.
You think so? But this
They're
is
gonna
where I
have a
wanted to end before
conversation.
you interrupted me. I ain't gonna lie to you. If it wasn't gonna be the Punisher saving Daredevil, I did not think it was the Swordsman. I was kind of hoping for Jessica Jones to come out of the cut. I ain't gonna lie to you, because there's not too many characters that would have saved Daredevil, and I'm not disappointed. But overall, I had fun with these last 3 episodes. Definitely looking forward for next week.
Any
Uh,
predictions you got?
um,
Because I'm gonna just go right off the bat
Go
with the
ahead, go
first
first,
one.
because
It
I got
might
a
be
lot.
it might be obvious because when Fisk got the call that the prisoners broke out of Red Hook, and he told them to blow up the North Star ship and
Mm-hmm.
the workers that were on it. I'm like, man, Fisk is on it. Like, that's a perfect cover up where he could just blame Daredevil for killing innocent people on the ship. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of backlash from that particular situation. So
Definitely,
um,
that's a chess play. That's definitely a chess play. That's an advantage for him to make himself look better. With washing his hands clean with the matter. Um, the only other thing I would have to say is, um, I I feel like that Daniel is going to have a bigger role in the season as well with BB, because he's gonna end up having to snitch to Fisk about BB, because I feel like he knows that BB is the one that is leaking the information, and I think he knows that she is also, you know,
that's his first
the one
body.
that's playing Fisk under the mask, because we already know that she takes out the mask in season 3 and episode 3, and she is the one leaking the information as well. So I do feel like they are going to play a significant role. Now, this is where my theory goes along. I don't think BB's going to last very much longer in the season. She's probably going to end up just like her uncle. Um, the only other thing is that I would have to go and say I do think Daredevil's going to need friends. A lot of high friends in high places. Now, who are they are? I don't know. As far as I know, it's just Jessica Jones going on in the season. I do think he needs more friends. The only other thing is that I'm definitely looking forward for the season, bro. Like, I'm excited. The fight scenes were amazing. Stories definitely going back to the Netflix series. Definitely going back, bro. It's going back to its roots. I'm excited for it. It's dark, it's grimy. The story is definitely enriched. I love it. The fight scenes are amazing. It's getting better every season.